Good day, sir. I am Agency Malabarbas, and I am the second reporter of Group 2. So the topic that I am going to discuss today are the presuppositions of morality, and then the three stages of human action or human act. First is the presuppositions of morality. So, presuppositions of morality, it is an act of which we identify what we assume to be morally wrong and right, or bad and good, and also the existence of moral truth in our life or daily life. So, there are at least three presuppositions of morality that ground the basis of our moral actions. First is the existence of God or the Supreme Being. Second is the human freedom. And then the third one is the afterlife or immortality of the soul. So the first one is the existence of God or Supreme Being. So it refers to a personal God, a law that governs everything, or something else that goes beyond human comprehension. So in this portion, we are talking about the existence of God in our lives and the proposition that there is a supreme supernatural being that is our creator and our sustainer and ruler of the universe and the world and all the things in it, including us human beings. So it is subject of for debate because especially in the philosophy of religion and cultures, because there are some religions who do not believe or against the existence of God, that they do not believe that God exists and God is alive. However, we as Christians believe that there is God, a loving and a just God. Our actions are either punished or blessed by this God. So in the case of philosophers of East, say those Indian thinkers who believe in Brahman. Brahman is a divine spirit that governs everything that is seen or even unseen. They believe to the concept of karma. So I think we are familiar already what is karma. So it is a natural course or law of the result of man's action. That is, if he does good or if we does good, we will be blessed. And if we does bad, so we will get the punishment we deserve. Next is the human freedom rather. So human freedom justifies the idea that it is imperative for us to take responsibilities of our actions or decisions done out of free will. So human freedom, it is our freedom to do the things we wanted to do, to interact with people, to communicate with people, our rights, our freedom to pursue what we wanted to pursue. However, there are some issues may arise because of this freedom. Some people might um, overuse their freedom. They sometimes forget to um, they sometimes forgot to think what might be the consequences or the outcomes of the actions they will take, or it is bad or not. So sometimes there are some people nga wala gapatuyang lang og himo sa particular action, even if wala sila, or though sometimes na uban nga kabalo sa consequences, kabalo nga mali. However, gusto nila gihapon himuon, or they still choose to continue doing that thing. So it is very important for us human beings nga dapat aware ta og andam ta. We are prepared for the possible consequences of our actions and decisions. So according to the existentialist Jean Paul Sartre, argues that we are condemned forever to be free and that even not to choose is still a choice. This means that we must take responsibility towards the means and the consequences of our every decisions and actions, be it a good means or consequences or a bad one. So, as what I have said earlier, so we should think first before doing that action para iwas consequences or negative consequences or outcomes sa imong actions nga pilion. So next is afterlife or immortality of the soul. So this refers to reward and punishment. The assumption of that soul is immortal or that there is afterlife is also an important presupposition that guides our actions. So it guarantees an individual of a fitting justice. The righteous will be rewarded and the weak will be punished. It is important to note, however, that there are various views of God's nature. Regardless, most, if not all, agree that proper retribution, if not rightly implemented here, will take effect regardless of its form in the next life. So, after life, the idea of this is that we will be punished according to our actions here in our life in here in this world. So we will be rewarded if we did not do something bad, like for example murder or stealing or kanang mga major nga mga sins. So and if wala kung kana siya is imuha nang nabuhat sa kuan, so if God will return, so naa na dira ang judgment, mahimo ng reward if imuha ikaw pag-abot sa time maadto ka sa heaven, maadto ka sa iyahang kamot. However, mahimo siyang punishment if maadto ka dito sa impyerno. So it matters on what deeds or what actions you have to during your life here in this world. So next is the stages of human act. So there are 3 stages of human act according to Saint Thomas Aquinas. These stages are intention, deliberation, and decision. So accordingly, kini siyang tulo ka stages is moral evaluation ni siya sa ato adong action. So first is intention. So intention refers to the purpose of a certain act. An intention is idea that you plan or intended to carry out. If you mean something, it's an intention, your goal, your purpose, or your aim in your intention. So like for example, intention means purpose. Unsay imong purpose nganong buhaton na nimo siya? Unsay intention nimo nganong gusto nimo na siya pursue? Like for example, gusto ka mo padayon nag-eskwela, you wanted to pursue studying. However, the question is that what is your intention? What is your purpose? Nganong gusto ka mo eskwela? So it is very important to set that intention first at the beginning for you to have a clear destination. So at least if you have set a clear intention or purpose or goal, so naa kay destination. Next is deliberation. So deliberation, this refers to our evaluation whether to perform the act or not. The noun deliberation comes from the Latin word deliberate, meaning weigh or consider well. So deliberation is also involves planning. So it involves planning. And in doing human acts, there is deliberation. Before human action, takes place, there are choices to be made before you decide. So, na kay mga klase-klaseng, deliberation is like choices. Kanang, na kay klase-klaseng mga choices. So, it also involves planning. So, it's up to you kung unsa imuhang gusto gusto buhaton. It's up to you kung unsa imong gusto i-pursue nga action. So, that is deliberation. Next is decision. So, sa decision, I think we are familiar with decision since we have this, or we do this every day, I think. Yeah. Decision. So, the act or process of deciding. And determination as of as questions or doubt by making a judgment. So, this refers to the result of planning and deliberation. Thus, it is not just an outgrowth of proper reflection or balanced deliberation, but also a byproduct of a careful assessment of the will. So, decision, diri na siya ang decision making. So, making decision can affect you in a good or bad ways. However, making moral decision can affect your whole life. So, 'di ba, na siya differences. If you do or if you make decision, wala lang decision kini without considering the moral values of that decision. So, yeah, it will affect you in many ways, like in some ways, like, or even in bad ways or a good ways. However, if you will consider the values or the moral values of the decision, like imuhang i-consider tanan nga posible nga mahitabo if you will choose, if you will pursue that decision, so your whole life will be affected. So, in addition, when you do a decision, you should really think on how it will affect us or how it will affect you as a person. Not just today, but also in the future. Yes, if you will make decision, dili lang nimo hunahon ang karon, ang posibleng results or outcomes ani karon. But you should also consider, you should also think the possible results or the possible outcomes nga pwede matabang or pwede or effect ani sa future life, in the future nimo, if makatabang ba siya or dili, or if short term lang ba siya or pang long term. So, I think that would be all. I think that is clear. That would be all, sir. Thank you.